Hi, I'm Rich Torrey. Welcome to another Level Up Cartooning. All you ever need to follow along with me is a pencil and paper. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? So last week we talked about the importance of getting comfortable drawing your characters' heads in different directions, and not just the standard front-facing pose. And we used Morty Smith from Rick and Morty and Dipper Pines from Gravity Falls in a little head-turning exercise. I thought this week I'd take it up at least one more notch with a slightly more detailed head, and to add a little extra difficulty, bring in a little more variety regarding the expressions. And finally, to add even more challenge, as with Dipper last week, I wanted to add a hat to the head. And the perfect candidate for this combination is Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, with this iconic straw hat. Love this character and the look of the animation used for all the characters in One Piece. As with last week's lesson, I'll give you an easy template to use to then practice drawing Luffy's head in different positions or angles. Using this template will help you to begin to more comfortably draw heads in different angles. It'll also get you in the habit of starting with the shape of the head instead of starting with a detail like the eyes. Also to that end, let me give you this more expanded template, kind of a head-turning tree, for you to use to begin to work on drawing characters' heads in even more positions or directions. Notice again the curved guidelines I've added. I encourage you to screen grab it, and I hope you find it helpful. I also hope you'll hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button, as it helps this channel to grow, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. Alright then, let's get into our head-turning exercise with the great Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. Okay, so as with last week's head-turning exercise, we're going to draw Luffy in 5 angles. Straight on, 3/4, profile, 3/4 looking up, and 3/4 looking down. Again, these are only a sampling of the many angles to choose from when it comes to drawing a character's head. There are literally endless possibilities. Anyway, let's start with a simple roadmap of our head-turning exercise using Luffy from One Piece. So there's our roadmap for our head-turning exercise using Luffy. Now we're on to step 2. In this step we do what I call roughing out the features. I want to remind you that until the third and final step, you want to draw as light as possible. Those curved guidelines we've drawn to help us to know where to put Luffy's eyes, nose, and mouth, among other things, we don't want those guidelines in the final drawing. So you want to draw them light enough to be able to erase them easily. Okay, so let's rough out the features for our Luffy head-turning exercise. Okay, so there are the roughed out features for Luffy in our head turning exercise. So now with the roadmap done and the features roughed out, it's time for that final step. In step 3, we get to have fun. We get to draw in the final details for Luffy. We don't have to guess where to put things because we've already done all the hard work figuring that out. As I often say, I want you to be present, and what I mean by that is you don't want to mindlessly retrace over the lines you've already drawn. As you're drawing that final line, you want to be thinking about how you might improve it, staying vigilant until the very end. Alright, so let's draw in the details for our head turning exercise with Luffy from One Piece. And that's how you do it. There you have it, our head turning exercise using Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. So how do you think you did? Understand, if you've never drawn any pose of Luffy before, then you can't expect to have drawn him perfectly. You'll notice I don't spend time coloring our Luffy head poses during this video because I want my lesson to focus solely on the drawing process. But now you have the secret formula, the process for drawing various head poses of Luffy. And with that, you can draw them again and again. And by all means, color them when you're done. I promise each time you draw them, it'll be a little better and a little easier. I also promise the more you work with me, the better you're going to get at all of your cartoon characters. So I'd love to see your Luffy head turning exercise drawings. If you can, take a picture and post it on either Facebook or Instagram. And don't forget to include the hashtag #LevelUpCartooning. So I hope you had as much fun as I did with this one. Remember to subscribe and thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep drawing, my friends.